The Millbrae Pancake House has always been a part of our family. In 1959, my uncle and my two aunts bought into the world-famous Uncle John's Pancake House. And it was a franchise that was mostly on the West Coast. And we have an old Uncle John's Pancake House menu. We've got Swedish pancakes for 90 cents, cup coffee for 10 cents. They renamed the restaurant Millbrae Pancake House in 1962. I've learned how to do the cash register, and I have 3 sisters, and all of us have experienced that, you're working this weekend, somebody called in sick. So we've all kind of been involved in various ways.
My father was the kitchen manager here. He started in 1968, and I came to work here in 1987. I'm not really much of a breakfast eater because I don't like eggs. Maybe it's because I crack so many, I don't know.
Swedish Pancakes is the reason to come here.
The Swedish pancakes are a specialty here. It's very popular. People come from all over just to try them. It's a very simple recipe. Basically, you're taking powdered sugar and eggs and you're whipping it up into a froth. And then you add your liquids, and then you add your flour, and the final ingredient was you can't give up the secret.
There's only a few people that know this recipe. We hide it in a vault, and only 2 people make this batter here, and it's made daily. So that's all I can say.
Well, some people like to just let their butter melt on them. Other people roll them. They just chow them down. We go through so many, so every once in a while I'll stop and I'll watch people eating, and it's incredible how you see their face light up. What's this?
My sisters and I, we talk after work. Who'd you see today? Oh, I saw, this customer and this customer, and this is what's going on, and you are a part of their lives, they're a part of your life, and they become family over the years. There's not much we've changed. And my Aunt Marie would come in, sit in a booth, and she'd look around and she'd say, don't change anything. People don't like change. And I understand what she means. You gotta tread lightly. People want what they want, and we're here to keep it that way, Hip, hip.
Hooray! So Janet, this place has been in business for 60 years. How did you discover it, and why is your dish so special?
Oh, Leslie, I've been going there since I was a little girl. It's actually older than I am, which I can't say that about many restaurants. It's just fantastic.
And you have memories of going with your father, don't you?
Always. My dad went almost every day to Millbrae Pancake House.
No.
When he retired. My dad lived till 98, so do the math. Every single day till he was 98 years old. One of his 9 children or his 18 grandchildren or his great-grandchildren could always find him there every morning. So it was really a family affair to go hang out with Grandpa at Millbrae Pancake House.
And did he always order the Swedish pancakes? Because that is your must-try dish.
Yes, they were his favorite thing. I used to have the buttermilk pancakes when I was a child. And then when I started going almost every day with my dad, I said, gosh, what is it about the Swedish pancakes, Dad? Come on, I gotta try them. So then I started to order them religiously.
Yeah?
So usually when the steaming pancakes come to the table, I put the lingonberry butter on, and when it starts oozing and dripping all over, I roll it up and eat it like a little sausage. And then I cut the other one with my knife and fork and, show my manners.
Well, Sean, when you went, did you eat it with a knife and fork, or did you roll it up?
Well, when I could finally get entry, because it was packed the first time I went, and the second time I went, it was only a 10-minute wait. I get in. I've never had these pancakes before. They're very thin, and I just went right at it. I threw that spread on top, put it all over, put some syrup on top, and I ate it with the fork and knife.
Mm-hmm. I also used a fork and knife. I agree, it was incredibly delicious. The texture and the consistency of the thin crepes, I think, was really well done. It can be very difficult to master. And then when you added that sweet and tart butter on top and it just melted in, it really was like a really lovely, warm, comforting breakfast. And I could definitely understand why it's so popular and been such a staple in the area, and a place where families and generations would go over and over and over again.
But Janet, is there a favorite in addition to the Swedish pancakes?
I love everything. There's so many different pancakes. There's the Hawaiian pancake with the coconut and the pineapple. There's the chocolate pancakes. There's apple pancakes. There's every kind of pancake under the sun. But I do love the omelets. The California omelet's my favorite. It has a giant half of avocado on top and crispy bacon chunks and tomato, and it's lovely.
And you can also get the hot chocolate. I know that's a favorite.
Yes, the hot chocolate is every kid's favorite because it comes with this much whipped cream on top.
Well, we know Janet would go back for this dish and has over many years. Sean, what about you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm always a sucker for experience, and this was a great experience. On top of all of that, they have on-the-house soda water. Throw a little lemon in that, and it was perfect. So I loved it. I'm definitely going back.
Now, Jenny, would you go back for this dish?
You know, I live in the city. I think if I lived on the peninsula, it would definitely be my go-to place for brunch on the weekends. Absolutely. So I would highly recommend.
All right, well, if you would like to try the Swedish pancakes at Millbrae Pancake House, it's located on El Camino Real in Millbrae. And Janet's pro tip, if you're extra hungry, get a California omelet with the Swedish pancakes on the side.